put in 120. 120%. There it is. Okay, so that's all right for your larger plane, 72-inch. I'm Bill, and this is Buffalo Air Park. Let's dive in. All right, I'm going to get started on how I will upscale your plan for you, William, right? I believe your name is William, so let's get to this. So the Rapture 40, I did download the plans. As you can see right here, I put it on my desktop, so there are the instructions. I did have to pull out page 6 on this. Let me open up that PDF for you. Yeah, if I import all of this in here, I think it was like 40, it's 45 pages. I don't want to populate that much. So I'm on a Mac. Yeah, what am I on? A Mac Mini? Yeah, Mac Mini. Either way, it's a Mac. So I was able to isolate page 6. So that's one thing you're going to have to do. I don't know how to do it on a Windows system, but that's about it. Yeah, so you can see on my desktop here, I have the page 6, and I have the original plans too. And we'll check to make sure that those are properly scaled up before we work on the template stuff. So, all right, so I have Inkscape open. I haven't done anything to it. You can see a new document. Okay, first thing I do in Inkscape is I will set the document properties. And that's just this little page right here in the middle. I just want to get everything on inches because that's what I'm working on today. So I will hit this here, US. Let's just set it for 8.5 by 11 and make sure display units, which you'll see up here at the top. Let's get those to inches as well. Boom. And that's all you got to worry about for right now. So, all right, so that's good. This is a blank piece of paper, 8.5 by 11, but we won't worry about that. The shortcut on my keyboard for zooming out is the minus sign, as you can see here, and the plus sign to zoom in. Other than that, that's about all you need. So let's do this. All right. We want to get the PDF in here. I think I can drag and drop. Let me do that. Yeah, it'll let me import. So if you don't have that option, let me just cancel it. If you don't have it like on your desktop, just come up here to File, come down, see Import right there, hit that, and it just pulled up my desktop right here. And I am just want to do, what am I doing again? Right here. And unfortunately I don't have a preview, but I will hit Open. Now, Carlo. Nope. Sorry, I screw this up every time. Yeah, not Carlo. Now it's escaping me. Caro, sorry. Yeah. But anyway, you want to do that one. It kind of flattens everything out. If you did the internal import, it's going to add a bunch of junk with it, I call it, and it's a little harder to work with. So anytime I import any kind of PDF or anything in here to work on Inkscape, that's what I use, a Caro import. So hit OK. It'll take a minute because there's a big file. I got the old spinny wheel here. There it is. Okay, so let's zoom out. So there's the plan. Full size, but we'll check the scale and you can see how big it is compared to 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, but we'll get to that. But we also need that page 6 over here, so I'm going to just drag and drop since it's right here, and again Caro, and that's the template that you want to work on. Now once it gets imported into Inkscape, it'll strip, like you'll see, it'll strip all the white parts of, you'll see here in a second. Boom. And it's kind of hard to see how it's like, whoa, faded. You can't really see it. It's there. It just removed all the background stuff. So I'm just scrolling over with I have a magic mouse so I can slide on top of the mouse like a little trackpad. I don't know what you have, but you can, whatever mouse you have. But anyway, that's how I'm moving back and forth, up and down. I just got a little track mouse and the plus sign to zoom in. So there it is. You can see it actually made it into an object, which is up here in Inkscape. I don't want to go into all that, but pretty much if I was to load this into laser cutter, I can actually strip out these parts right here. I wouldn't have to draw over these. These look pretty good. So, but we're not doing that today. We are just going to scale this up so you can do a 72-inch airplane, but because right now it's a 60-inch wingspan, but we want to check everything out. So. But these parts, like you were asking me, these are absolutely just printed on an 8.5 piece of paper, so obviously way too small, and we want to get those scaled up. So I will scale them up to the actual size and then we'll go bigger for you for the 72 inch. So, all right, I'm going to try to move as quick as I can on here just to so this video isn't too long. So, all right, I'm going to highlight this is the original plan. Let's just check real quick to make sure. So I'm going to zoom in, and normally, like on a plan, you would see like a ruler or a scale, but there isn't anything on here, and that's unfortunately that's pretty common in a lot of plans. You don't have any reference, so you just got to cruise through here. Like I enlarge it and just look for any reference. Like I mean, I could pull off of here 1/4 by 1/2, but what I found is normally the wheels. Here is a 2.5 inch wheel, so I can measure that. But honestly, I just did the tail wheel right here. So we know the plans are saying it's a 1 inch wheel. So we will. All I'm going to do is measure this to confirm that the plans we're working on are to scale. So all I got to do is come up here. I'm enlarging with the plus sign. Now come over here on the left, and you want the pen tool. It looks like this little antique pen, kind of what's that called, nib? Yeah, so pen tool. Now, I'm gonna zoom in. Oops, wrong way. Zoom in as much as I can, and kind of pick the center, get it kind of close. Doesn't have to be exact. Put it around the edge and left click. That will start my line. Now, if I see how I can move it, but that wouldn't be diagonally across. So if you hold down the control key, it'll snap it. See how it snaps it like to different angles? That is absolutely horizontal. So then I'll come over here. As I'm holding the control key down, I had to look for a minute and just click right there. Now I have another tail. So that was 2 left clicks. Now to get rid of this little tail thing, just hit return, enter, boom. Now that is a big fat line, which we need to change. Obviously I was messing around with this. Where am I at here for a minute? I need to get to, not that one, right here. So not to confuse you, but this is a no fill on a line, and it's a stroke solid color, and then the size, yeah, 4 millimeters, too thick. So if you do it, it probably won't do it for you this big. I'm just going to scale it down to something you can see it getting thinner. 1.5, good enough. And I want to change the color, so let me close down this. I can just move that sidebar. See how I open that up right there? Just click those 3 dots, it'll open the side. And then click on that. That's all left click. Now this line, I want to change the color, and then we'll measure it. So come up here to the, I believe a select tool. Yeah, the selector. Hit that. Now you see little lines around it. That's selected, but I want it in red. So I'm going to hover over this, and you got to hold the shift down. I think it'll tell you. Yeah, it says shift and click to set the stroke. So that's a stroke color. So shift and click. Boom, made it red. So now it's easier to see. So, all right, we got that. Now you're going to come up here, as long as you're in the selector tool, and you want to look at, this is X and Y is position of the line on the map, or on the plans. Width right here, that's the actual line, and we're in inches. You can change it here. So stay in inches if that's what you're working with. 1.046, that is close enough for me, so I know that this plan is scaled properly. If they're calling for a 1 inch wheel, and we measured that line close enough to 1 inch for me, so we know that's all good. So let me zoom out. All right, so we know that is accurate. All right, actually let me come back in. We want to get rid of that. That was just a reference line, so since it's highlighted, I just hit delete. It's gone. Okay, now the other thing, I was cruising on here, I did see like I could measure the rib if I wanted, but I actually went off the wingtip. So, and then because you'll see it, let me come up here, come back to that's at page 6 that was stripped out of just the patterns or the templates, like you say. And that is, there's a wingtip right here. I'm just zooming in, plus sign to zoom in, right? So there's a wingtip. We're just going to measure that, and then you'll see the fuselage and everything. But this is pretty easy for me to get that measurement. So I'm going to zoom out, minus sign on the keyboard, come back over here, grab the wingtip right here. So zoom in, plus sign, come in here, and now I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to go to the pen tool here on the left, click that. Now I'm already, should be in red, but I can change the color if it doesn't. I'm going to zoom in because I want to get this, I want to get it right here. Zoom in, move it around, get it right there. Yeah, it's red. Okay, now I'm just scrolling with my, I think if you had a third wheel, like in the middle of your mouse, that would do it, but I'm just, like I said, I got a track mouse. Alright, so again, I want to make sure that line is perpendicular. So again, hold the control down, and there it is. It's right there. But now I gotta zoom in so I can see where I'm going. Zooming in, hold that control, it's right there. So we're just gonna go right there, and then hit enter to break that line, or end it, and there it is. So now I want to know what size the actual wingtip is on this full scale plan. So again, we have that highlighted, hit selector tool. There it is. Now come up here. Now since we're going vertically, it is now the height number. So 10.25. So 10 and a quarter inches. That's the wingtip that we need. So remember that. So actually, let me write that down because we're going to do a little math. Not hard. 10, we'll just do the whole thing, right? Yeah, we'll just round up. 10 and a quarter. All right, we got that measurement. Now, zoom back out. So I'll just leave that for now. All right, let's come back up to here. Now the most important thing. Let me zoom up here. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. Come up here. All right, now moving. All right, there's a wingtip. Now let's just see what this measures, because we got to do a little math. All right, so we're going to take the pen tool again, right there. Now you're going to see it'll snap right to the line. That's because it's I believe it's a vectorized graphics. Don't quote me on that, but I know from seeing this is easily populated into my laser cutter if I wanted to. My laser cutter isn't that big, so I couldn't do all these parts, but I could do the smaller ones. So anyway, so this will pick up a point, and you can just see it just locks onto it. So I don't have to do anything funky with control or anything like that. It'll just pick up that corner, and again, there's that little tail. Just hit enter. It's a little wide, but that's okay. Good enough for us. So again, selector tool, come up here. Let's just see what that is. There's the width. That's what that's measuring out at. So 1 inch. We'll do it exact here. 1.283. Okay, now we got to divide our target length, which is 10.25, divided by what our actual measurement is. Let me grab my calculator here off my phone real quick here. And that'll give us our scale, what we need to do. So 10.25 divided by 1.283 equals, I got 799. Actually, here, I'll write this down, 7.989. Let's just round it up, 799, and let's just go 8, because we got to convert this into percentage, which would be hundredths. So it's 800%. It's that easy. That's how you're doing it. So now we need to know, or now we absolutely know that the PDF plan that's printed on the 8.5 by 11 needs to be scaled up 800% to get to the target of the 60-inch airplane. And then I'll show you how to go a little further with it. So we're good. All right, let's delete that. It's already highlighted. We don't need it. So it's this simple. So it's right here. Click on it, and then we're going to scale it. So you're going to open up this right side panel, come up here, and it is this little symbol right here, which let's hover over, transform panel, and you'll see something in here, scale. So because I'm selected this portion of it, it's at 100. We need it to be 800. So we want to scale proportionally, meaning it'll scale both width and height at the same time. Very important, because you don't want to make one wider or one longer. You want to make them proportional. And then as simple as you can just hit the plus sign, or I just come right through here, highlight it, and put 800. Enter. Boom. It's done. So let's close that out. Sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't close out for me. There it goes. I don't know why. I think it's my mouse. I did another video of that, and yeah, did the same thing. But there it is. Now look how big it is. You can move it out of the way. It's highlighted. So all I'm doing is left click. See a little moving arrow symbol, and I can left click. I'm holding it while I move it around. So that's it. Now we just need to say you want to send that to get that printed so you can get some parts cut out. If you want a full scale parts for the 60 inch. I'll just show you how I would do that. So that's our little piece of paper, and you can see how much bigger that is. Let's just move this out of the way. Again, I'm just left click and pulling out of the way. Oh, there's our line we were doing for measurement. Let's delete it so we don't get confused. Okay, back to that. All we have to do is go back up here. You remember where we did document properties, where we first set it, and we did everything in inches, and I just said it was a letter. Now, since this is highlighted, all you do is click resize to content. Watch this. Magic. Isn't that cool? So that's ready to be printed. And now it's almost a 60-inch wide piece of paper and almost 80 inches in height. So that's a lot of paper. But any printer should be able to handle that for you. Maybe they would have to print it in a couple sheets. I don't know how that works, but yeah, it's a big piece. The only thing I saw on here, let me close this out. If you did want to, you could get rid of like some of this outline stuff. You don't need to get all that printed. I did try messing around with moving this stuff together, but it didn't seem to work for me. So, all right, before I go any further, when I start messing around with stuff, if you right click, well, let me highlight it. I right click it. I always make a duplicate of what I'm working on, because if I screw it up, I don't feel like going through all that again. So duplicate it. Doesn't look like it did anything. Just left click, hold, and look. See, there's another piece of it. So that's what I'll do. I do that a lot. Make duplicates so that, yeah, if I screw something up, I still have the original, which is sitting right here, ready to get printed. But let's try to save some paper. So this is considered an object now at this point in time. So come up here, hit object. Now this isn't going to be for every plan you do. I just got lucky that that it turned out the way it did. So this object is all grouped. I'm going to ungroup it. Okay, and what that, see how it changed all the line work? This grouping in the middle, let me zoom in, still doesn't look right to me as far as it didn't isolate everything like I thought, but it did isolate this junk on the outside. So I'm going to click off it. So if I click this and just hit delete, we don't need that. And here you can see, like, I can hit that and delete, or I can, okay, as long as I'm in the select tool up here, if I left click and hold and drag a box, it'll highlight all of that, hit delete. And then the only other thing you have left, remember that little number 6 right here? You just highlight it, delete it. Now, zoom back out. I did try to, like, see how that fully didn't isolate everything like I wanted to. I have another program for my laser cutter that now I would go through if I was going to laser cut this. I would go through and import this into my program, and then I would get rid of the box, edit it in there, and then these parts I could easily transform into the laser cutter. But on Inkscape right now, for my knowledge, that's as far as I can go with it. So, all right, but before you start moving stuff around, because you ungrouped what it had, so again, I'm in the select tool, highlight, left click, hold, create that box. I'm going to drag it around here, come up, you can see all the little individual little boxes, come up back up to object, and you want to group that all together again. Boom. And now it made it all one. So now I can grab and move it. So that's pretty cool. So that saved you some paper. Let's just double check. Let's just see what it was. I can't remember what the property was. File, document properties. What were we at? Like, we'll just say 80 by 60. Okay. But now I am going to tell it to resize to that, what we just trimmed down a little bit. Save some paper, so yeah, I should have just stayed right there. Now, because that's highlighted, not this one, again, resize the content. Boom. And now we're down to, oh, pretty decent, 50 inches and 48. So definitely save some paper. So that's that part. Okay, now let's just do, real quick, I don't want to make this forever video. I will, why did I pull that off of there? Leave that right on there. All right, let's scale it up to, so we want, here's a little more math. So we know we want to get to a 72-inch wingspan, right? So I'm going to just write this down, 72 inch, and we're at 60 inch wingspan. So we divide that out. What's that, 1.2? I just did it in my head, but hold on. Let's see here. 72 inches, it doesn't matter, 72 divided by 60 inch. Yeah, that's 1.2. Again, we want it in scale of 100, so it's 120. put that down. So we need 120 more of this particular plan, or we'll just say if you didn't trim it down, we'll take this one right here. All right, so we want to go back over here to the left, open that panel up, which my mouse isn't going to let me do it. Come on. There it is. All right, I don't know what's going on with my mouse. All right, real quick here we go, back to scale. Even though it says 800, it's just a reference point of where we left off. We only want to go another 120 larger. We don't want to do like 920 or something where you start adding it up. This is just a base point. So all we're going to do, we have everything selected. Let's go. Just put in 120. I did it on a trial run. I did 920 and the thing was massive. So I just want to increase what I already have 120%. Boom. And there it is. That's all you need. Let me close that panel out. Come on. Nope, it did, but so there it is. That is ready now for your 72-inch plan. Your plane. That would be it. Now, if you wanted to have, which I'm sure you would, plans to get printed, you could do the same thing with this. We know that's at scale for the 60-inch version, right? Just come back over here, and even though it says one, well, see, what it's doing, I think, it's referencing off of what I just told it to do. So I want to go, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense, but I want to do another 120. Well, let me do it. I haven't done this before. If I just type it in again, it did. See that? So I just add another 20. Now this would be your 72-inch version to get printed off. Let's just zoom out. And now you're ready. So these two pieces, not this one over here that we did, let's just pull that off to the side. And let's, just for fun, let's just see what a 72-inch airplane wingspan of the, let's just see how big those plans are. So let me zoom back out, come up here, remember document properties. You can play around with all different scales and all that kind of stuff. So remember, when you're scaling something up, it's the target wingspan, we'll say 72 inches, divided by the actual number will give you the ratio that you need. So that's how I did it. Let's just do resize the content. Now these plans are 80 inches by 42, which that's not bad. You can get those printed off. So that's how big that would be for a 72-inch airplane. And then you would have these plans too to get done. But that is it. That's how that works. Remember, that was for the 60-inch. And then, yeah, and that's how I trim it. So I hope I answered everything the best I could. If I'm missing something, I'm just trying to think. That's it. Oh, let's see. How would you get this to the printer? I think it's just exporting. I've never gone this far with it. Let me just see real quick here. Yeah, it's going to be an export. So you go to export. Oh, okay, which is the side panel. So just open up the side panel, and it was all the way down here on the end. We want to do the document, which is highlighted. And we want it in, can I change? That's in pixel. I wonder if I can change it in inches. Never got this far to it. I know we set it up in inches. I don't see anything. So this one, you kind of got me on this one. Unfortunately, not sure. Let me just see what we can save it as. Okay, PDF is probably what, yeah, they don't want a PNG if you're taking it to a printer. I would say it's a PDF. And they should ask you where, yeah, see, user bitmap PDF. It's just going to put it on my desktop. And then you just hit export, and that's all ready to go. William, it's the next day, and actually I found some mistakes in the first video towards the just towards the end with the exporting. So you're going to see this all in one video, but this is actually the next day. So I just wanted to just confirm some of the stuff I was working on. So all right, real quick, I got to import the plan real quick. So I'm in Inkscape, which you've seen, but this will kind of be like a refresher for you. I want to import. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Hold on, there we go. I was in the wrong thing. All right, import. Import right there. And I already have the plan. This is just something on my desktop. So I'm going to import that. Cairo, that was one thing I kept screwing up you'll see in the beginning of this video. I kept calling it Cairo. It's Cairo, like the Egyptian Cairo. So That's how to pronounce that correctly. So that was one thing I kept screwing up. So get that in there real quick. It just takes a minute to load because there's a big file. Okay. Zoom out, remember, minus sign. Okay. And again, I just got to size the document properties. I'm just going to go over the export. This is just the original 60-inch wingspan. I mean, if you want a refresher real quick, I've already have the side panel open. It's under the transform tool, and we want to scale that. We knew, I already talked about that, 120% to get it to the 72-inch. And we want to scale. Make sure you set that scale proportionally. And I'm just going to put in 120. 120%. There it is. Okay, so that's all right for your larger plane, 72-inch. But the big thing I wanted to show you, which I could leave that open right there, the export part. First thing I got to do though is just scale that, the document property, which I didn't even do anything yet to it. It's still the way it was. Actually, I had you yesterday just pick like a US and 8.5 by 11, but honestly, you can just, as long as that's in inches, which, why is that doing that? Okay, inches here. Yeah, my mouse is acting up. Inches, which changed that. All right, that's already highlighted, selected. Remember, resize the content. Well, all right, we're all ready to go. So I just want to show you real quick here how to export this, or actually the right settings. So yeah, you can see it's on there. Oh, Control Z. Now if I hit Control and then Z, will undo my last movement. So my last movement was moving that around. Yeah, so isn't that cool? So if you make a mistake like, oh, I didn't mean to do that, and you try to line it up, Control Z puts it back. 2 more shots puts it back right there. So that's Control Z. All right, so let's just export. I want to go over that real quick with you. So it's this tab right here. You don't have to change. Remember, oh no, you actually didn't see it. Sorry, I was talking about yesterday about changes to inches and all that. As long as I have the document property set up here that we already discussed, excuse me, inches right here, and we already know now what it is. That this can be like 80 by 42. As long as you have inches here, don't worry about the pixel on the exporting side of it. So that's it. The biggest thing though that I made a mistake was this has to be 300 for printing. 96 is for screen images. We want to print. You're going to have it printed, so it's got to be 300. And once I enter that in there, it increases the pixel. So that is all correct. That is absolutely mathematically turns out to the exact size of the document. And then export is simple as picking down here PDF. Oh, my mouse is acting funny. You want to do a PDF, and then you can, this little folder here, just will put it to wherever you want to save it, and then you can change the name right here. So I would say Rapture. I was calling it Rapture yesterday too. It's Rapture. So I would just say Rapture 40, or we went bigger, but whatever. And then here it's just putting on my desktop, and then you just hit save it, as long as it's a PDF, and it's good to go. So I'm just cancel that out. But that's all. I just wanted to touch base on that. Make sure your DPI is set to its dots per inch, 300 to get it printed. That'll give it a really nice, sharp, clean print for the printer. At 96 was just for, like I said, screen. So something used like online just for screen display, and it would be too soft or pixelated to get that printed. So that's it. Yeah, so that's it. I will splice this in and finish out the rest of the video. So all right, William. That's it. Just wanted to update. So that's it. I hope I answered everything for you. Thanks again for the question. And if you have any other issues or anything, let me know. And if something I glanced over, I skipped over, I'm just trying to here to help you out. And yeah, let me know if I missed something, or if somebody else watching this video and I'm way off base like half the time I am, or whatever. Yeah, let me know, please, and we'll work together. And hey, I'd love to go flying with you guys. So anyway, that's it. So hope that helped. William, I believe your name was. And yeah, thanks again for the comment. All right, man. See you later, guys.